A court on Wednesday ruled that a teenager was wrongly ignored before being forced into end-of-life care. Sudiksha Thirumalesh, who was 19, died last year after being prevented from travelling abroad for treatment after doctors said her condition was incurable. Doctors said Ms. Thirumalesh's objection to their decision was unreasonable and that she should have all life-sustaining treatment ended and be put on a palliative care pathway. Last August, a ruling said that the teenager lacked mental capacity to make her own decisions, but 3 judges in the Court of Appeal overturned that decision last week. Lawyers said the move reaffirms the right of patients to disagree with their doctors. The teenager remained fully conscious while being treated by the University Hospitals Birmingham NHS Foundation Trust. Well, to discuss this tragic case, Sudiksha's father, Thirumalesh, and brother, Varshan, join me now. Thank you so much for joining me in these desperately sad circumstances that Sudiksha was so brave, and then the court last year just overruled her. You must still feel so upset about that.
Well, last year we said that as a family, her name came out in public and part of is at peace. But this year we can go on to say that we are wholly rejoicing this moment because the capacity issue was overturned by the system, and we are very thankful for that because that was the goal. Because when she was hospitalized, the doctors, they all came in different streams of bubbles, and we tried to make sure that we did not burst anyone's bubbles at the end of the day, and we can rejoice this moment.
And this is very important for other people who may find themselves in a similar position, that they will be able to make decisions about their own care with the support of their families, rather than there's sometimes arrogance of the medical profession who think that they know best. So you must be, I hope, very reassured by this judgment that Sudiksha has achieved something for other people.
Yes, definitely, because this arrogance transformed into cruelty towards my sister's care and ill treatment of the whole family. And like I said, we were not anyone to burst anyone's bubbles because they think they are on the top of the hierarchical spectrum, and they treated us like we were on the bottom of the lower end of the chains, or rather as low class, but we ensured that our class remained. And, you know, they say form is temporary, but class is permanent. And in that way, my sister's body was in line, and we had to tackle a great deal of issues, and we overcame everything with success.
And you overcame them. You as a family showed enormous strength and unity, and have achieved something, I think, very important. And you've established in law that having the desire to live is not a sign of mental incapacity, which seems to me to be pretty fundamental and rather extraordinary that anyone thought not wanting to live was an indication that you had the right mental capacity, and wanting to live was a sign of incapacity.
Yes, absolutely.
Obviously, this decision is too late. You felt it was still worth taking the case. You didn't feel at any point that you should retreat from the courts and just leave it. So it must have been a great burden for you as you were mourning to carry on through the courts.
Definitely, because at the end of the day, we were not ill-treated by the justice system, but we were ill-treated by the doctors, and that was in turn pressurizing the justice system, and that was rightly diagnosed by our family. And we had to make sure that we carry on with our battle to ensure that, you know, justice prevails.
And justice has prevailed. Has the hospital suggested it might take this further to the Supreme Court, or do you think this is the final judgment?
Well, we are not aware of this because we got our justice at the last, and I don't know what their decision.
And how do you feel about the hospital now? Are you able to forgive them for what they did, or do you still feel that they haven't learnt their lesson and behaved very badly and haven't improved in their approach.
But I would still strongly condemn their actions from the past, because I'm sorry to say it's either they've left their it's either they left their pea-sized brain in the backyard or they've left their petal-sized brain elsewhere. But either way, the approach towards my sister needs to be condemned, and we are going forward with that.
Thank you.
Yes, and you must be so proud of your sister and the courage that she showed and has done something important for society at large, particularly as the discussion is now developing about helping people end their lives, the assisted suicide debate. And your sister stood up for life, which is that most precious of all things.
Absolutely, you are right, because her intention and attitude to help others, and I hope she achieved it when she died and is become a set an example for the laws in this country. You know, I'm really proud of that, and she is always having attitude of helping others, and she'll be kind to everyone and smiling to everyone. Everyone know about her.
I mean, to go on to talk about assisted suicide, it's a life that's given by the Almighty, and only the Almighty has the reason to take someone's life.
Well, thank you so much, both of you, for coming on. I so admire you for making this case in the midst of your personal grief, and your sister and daughter's memory will be treasured in future. Thank you so much.